Hi, Jenny.
Hey Nina, how we doing?
I'm fine. I really volume on my phone. I'm just like put the speaker on, and then
Yeah,
I think you.
the last bit cut out. Sorry, Nina.
Yeah. So I have trouble with my internet
Ah,
and the sound on my phone
ah.
because I haven't got a speaker one. I've only got a headset, so I can
Probably
only
the
listen to you.
yeah, it's
So I
probably the
can't even hear
internet.
you very well now.
No, that's not good.
Yeah, but I can watch the video afterwards, so it's
Oh,
okay.
totally.
You good?
I'm good. I'm good. How we doing, Dave?
Yeah, very well, thanks. How are you, right?
Yeah, you look like you're chilling out there, mate.
I am. Sweat and train this morning were killers. They really
Yeah,
were.
I bet.
Oh, God. So many squats, so many squats. It's just like,
Yeah, I gave 20.1 a go. 21.1 a go this morning.
yeah,
No, I didn't enjoy that.
no, not at
Press up, so I was like, I'm out.
all. Ah,
The class timetable's changed a lot, hasn't it, for next week?
Yeah, so we've added a 12 o'clock class now, and we've just mixed the classes up a little bit more. So it's not just so that people that can't get to train at 9 can do it at least one day in the week, and we're just mixing it up a little bit more for everybody more so. So yeah, we've added some bits in there, which would be pretty cool.
Well, I've got my box.
Nice.
Oh, wasn't
Good.
that exciting?
I
Nina?
don't
I
do
got
it
mine.
now because it's sort of like, oh my God, I might hurt myself.
You'll be fine.
I know.
Oh, Jamie's in, Bee's in, Georgina's in.
Got my box.
You've
Hi,
got your box.
Dave.
hiya,
Nia.
Jamie. You right?
Yeah.
When I went to pick my box up, I thought I could get it in the back seat. That wasn't happening, and I had to literally empty my whole boot, which is just a nightmare at the best of times. It took me about 10 minutes outside Jay's house to empty my boot into my car to get the box into my boot. It was just like, it was great. I've got it, but it was a nightmare collecting it.
Did you find the place all right?
Yeah, no problem at all. Mind you, I used to be station commander at Basingstoke, so I know it reasonably well.
Oh, Basingstoke. Oh, I
Yeah.
ended up going to.
I think they changed
Lovely.
carpenters.
We've got different boxes.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Basingstoke was it, Dave?
You know, up Gershwin, off Gershwin Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lad up there. So yeah, that was obviously Sean's first port of call as a carpenter then.
No, I did. I just wondered because obviously I'm a Basingstoke, so. Give everyone a couple of minutes.
Massive cup of tea. I think I might go and make one myself now.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
Jamie always looks in that perfect position, doesn't she? Chilled out. She's got her tea ready.
I'm either right down here or I'm right close up, and I can't get the distance right.
Jamie's
My
got it down.
armchair. I'm like an 80-year-old.
No, you don't. You look gorgeous.
Pretty tired. Yeah. No, I'm really worn out.
It is inside.
Oh, I was about to say there's no outdoor PT. What's going on?
I know, I'm in a shed. I thought I can't stay in the
Brilliant.
I'll have to
house.
zoom in on this.
I love it,
You're in a
PT. I love
shed.
it.
Have you been stockpiling? That looks like a bunker
No.
of supplies.
Well, I tell you what's happened. My mother has been, for the last 12 to 18 months, been saying to everyone, we're going to have to start every shop getting extra items and storing it. I mean, my sister, I was like, Mom, what are you on about? We used to like laugh at her, and now she's laughing at us.
She knew. She knew
So she
this
said,
was coming.
maybe this is going to come. So, yeah, this is not like crazy people bulk buying.
And she got weapons in a trunk somewhere as well.
Well, is this?
Oh.
Yes.
Is this a weapon?
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
BT looks like, BT, you look like you're going to talk us through some kind of DIY expert.
Right, it has
making-
everything. And oh, my hammock chair.
Oh.
I was tempted to bring this out and just put the brolly on top of it. Then I thought the brolly has a little hole in it, so
Are you allowed in the house, PT?
am I allowed in the house? I just don't like being in the house.
Bless you, PT. Is anyone I don't know if anyone's watched this on Netflix, just like talking about like prepping for stuff. Has anyone watched Doomsday Preppers on Netflix?
No.
If you
Worth it.
get a chance, just watch a couple of them. So it's predominantly US people,
Of course.
and they are like preparing for doomsday. Some of them are preparing for atomic bombs, the collapse of the financial industry, like the EMP blast that might knock out all electronics. And it just like it takes you to these families and the extremes they go to in prepping.
Really?
Some of them.
Similar
PT,
thing.
one of them created an underground bunker that can sleep 300 people,
Wow.
made out of old buses and stuff. It's mad. It's
Oh,
absolutely
wow.
mad.
That.
I'll have to watch that.
Honestly, it bits of it.
I think your mum already has, PT.
Honestly, you watch bits of it and you're like, these guys are batshit, and then you're like, oh, actually, there's a couple of bits. So, I mean, like overall, a lot of them are preparing for stuff that's very unlikely to happen. But I get the basis of why they're prepping. But some of them have like escape routes, guns, like armorized cars to get out, all sorts. It's mad.
But that's all in America, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Watching too much Mad Max.
Oh, I swear some of them have been, Georgina. I'm pretty sure.
Have you not got your Thunderdome outfit ready? No.
I missed that. What did you say, Jem?
Got my Thunderdome outfit ready. Got some metal, chainmail.
I'm
Don't worry,
half on that.
It's gone over my head.
Just like getting prepped, like in full body armor to leave the house.
Oh, right. Okay.
I've got a
Sorry,
weighted
my
vest.
son's heckling me. So
Weighted vest about as far as I'll ever get, I think. All right, guys. How's everyone feeling today? Are we all feeling okay today?
Really tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tired? Not a good night's sleep, B, or?
I woke up a bit earlier than I have been because I'm like, I feel like I need to not sleep as much as I do, but now I just feel really tired.
That's just your body got to adapt to something slightly different. That's all, more so. Has everyone managed to get a little bit of stretching in or something for their bedtime routine?
Yeah. I did it last night
Yeah.
because I hurt my back doing the thrusters yesterday.
Mm.
So it really made me do some stretching. And
Okay.
boy, oh boy, what a difference it made. I had such a good night's sleep.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the best night's sleep I've had in ages. So definitely doing it again tonight.
Nice. That's awesome, Dave. That's really good to hear. Did you find that you went to sleep a lot quicker?
Yes. Yeah, I was like out like a light. And sort of the other thing is normally I wake up 3-4 times a night. Last night, I think I woke up once, and which
Ah,
was just, it was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
nice. That's good.
I was struggling to fall asleep last night. My brain was just full of so many thoughts. It was awful.
You did quiz night though as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. How long did that go on for?
Like an hour.
Okay. Did you win?
No, I was in second
In
place.
second.
Oh, PT. All right.
We did really well, didn't we?
You never guess who was in our team though.
Go
The
on then.
last team I thought would win, Luke and P-Dog.
Did you guys cheat?
No, 100% didn't cheat.
Impressive. I'm impressed, PT.
I was quite surprised and all.
So what time roughly did you get to bed, B?
So I went to bed like at sometime like at 10 minutes past 9 or something, and then I was reading for like an hour, but then
Yep.
it took me like 40 minutes or something to actually fall asleep after I read.
Mm.
So I fell asleep at like around 11, after 11, something like that.
Okay. It'd be interesting tonight if you try and do the same thing. Obviously, try not to nap in the day. How much quicker you fall asleep now? Just because one, you're obviously tired as well, but two, you're kind of resetting the body a little bit. So it'd be interesting tonight to see how that goes for you. I think part of it is your body's used to the later nights and the later starts. So
I do go to sleep like at this time, like I'm going to bed at the same time, but I'm sleeping for like 10 hours and I'm like, I probably should be like, I feel like I have to only sleep for like 8 or something. So I'm trying to like wake up earlier, but now
see how you go for the next couple of days. I think there'll be a little bit of a shift in it, but see how it goes for the next couple of days. Anyone else had any good success in their sleep?
Yeah, my heart rate went down to 35.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
You ain't got low blood
Weird,
pressure,
isn't
yeah?
So I think I'm quite relaxed.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, like my average for bed is about 42, so that's really good going, Nina.
Yeah, I think I'm all right. I've got a jigsaw puzzle that I do. If I'm really stressed, I just go to the jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, that's cool.
That works.
What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, so the stretching does work. I didn't stretch last night, but it's fine. I just went into a normal like coma sleep, and then wake up at about 3. But then I'm more than happy. I'm cool with that after work. It's fine.
PT?
I've not managed to go to bed. I'm trying to get to bed 11, and I have done really the last 2 days for last night. 11:15. I had a better sleep last night. Actually did get the murder book out last night and read a chapter. And actually, there was no killings in that chapter, so it was fine. And yeah, I had a better night's sleep. I normally tend to have a bit of a stretch when I get into bed and out of bed, but just like a bit of a, what do you call that pause when you like, when you stretch your lower back.
Oh yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I do a bit of that anyway, but it does help. And in the morning I do it because my body just creaks like hell when I get up if I don't do that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a bit better last night. Maybe because I had a bath, because the night before I didn't have time. It would have taken me well over my target to go to bed. I had a shower and I had a terrible night. I was up like those times to 3. So I don't know where the bath is helping,
I think like with showers, one of the things is showers tend to wake you up a little bit more. You associate them with like a quick get up and go kind of thing. Whereas the bath really makes you stop for quite a bit, right? You have to slow the pace down completely for the bath. And that's probably one of the big things. So it may be worth, even if you might not hit, getting into bed at 11, if you can still have a bath, but know that you're going to have a good night's sleep because you're relaxed, it's probably still worth running a bath. It's just something to consider because like I find showers definitely, like if I have a shower, I'm wide awake because I associate the shower with the morning.
Yeah. I do find that when I've had the bath as well, I start thinking about all sorts. It's because I stop and I think. Like yesterday, I was thinking about, I got a soldier dying, and I was trying to tell myself, this is not supposed to be what I'm thinking in the bath. I'm supposed to be like relaxed. But when I stop, I do think of stuff which I probably shouldn't think about.
It's kind of, it's that reflection time though, right? You use it as a little bit of time for reflection. It's kind of normal. Because if you're not thinking about it when you're awake, you're probably subconsciously going to think about it when you sleep, which is why you probably won't sleep as well. I don't know, like I know a lot of people don't necessarily remember their dreams, but do people find when they're really stressed and they've not spoken about something, like they tend to have quite a restless night? It's normally because it's still all brewing in the back of your mind, and it's going to come to light at some point. So if you're actively thinking about it almost out loud, you're kind of addressing it yourself rather than doing that subconsciously. Does that make sense? I appreciate that sounds really, really crazy, but it's when you've got so much going on, when you don't address that kind of stuff, that's when sleep really gets impacted quite badly. because the mind doesn't know how to switch down. Like, it doesn't know how to shut off and relax in that same way. Whereas if you can kind of address stuff, like if you've ever had any type of counseling before, when you've dealt with something like, and you've gone to your appointment, what you tend to find is people actually do relax and sleep a lot better, just because you've addressed certain things that you wouldn't normally, right? I mean, that's getting into like some deep psychological stuff, but that's kind of the way the brain works, right? So when your sleep routine is impacted in that way, when you've got big things going on like that, PT, sometimes that will be the case. Like, you're not going to get a good night's sleep if you haven't processed it during the day. It's the same as, my old movement therapist, when you hold on to certain things as well, it tends to impact in your brain and how the body moves as well. So you hold a lot more tension. So if you can process that stuff a bit quicker, you tend to release, one, the mind, but also the body a little bit more. You won't hold as much tension in the body, which then in turn helps you relax when it comes to winding down and going to bed. Does that make sense? It's all connected, like how the brain works and how the body moves. They are directly connected. If you're mentally not in a great place, the body's not physically going to be in a good place either.
I think I also
you're
felt
saying
guilty that I didn't put my laptop on last night,
Mm.
which I shouldn't anyway because I'm on leave this week. But the night, well, I put on the night before as well, and I did some work.
Yeah.
Then I'm constantly thinking when I put that laptop on, what I'm going to find in my emails.
Which is another reason why, you know, if you kind of comes back to this whole thing, right? If you can't control it at that point in time and you can't do anything about it then and there, you've kind of got to learn to let go of it to a degree, right? It's a tough one to do, but like learning how to ramp down and wind down before bed is probably the most important thing. Definitely for you, PT.
Just need to learn how to do it.
It's hard, PT. I mean, I struggle to. I'm doing it because I can hear Jenny saying, "Turn your phone off," and then I'm like, wonder if someone will see me online. That is why I'm doing it, but it's not easy. It's really not easy.
It's changing some massive habits, right? If you think about how long you've had a mobile phone, how long you've looked at that mobile phone every night before you go to bed and stuff, that's not a habit that you're going to change overnight. It's going to take time, and it takes a lot of effort to do that. But over time, that gradually becomes second nature to you, right? You just got to find something else to replace it with that's a much healthier habit. That's all.
Yeah.
Nina,
I don't find that one too hard. I plug in my phone and it stays downstairs. It doesn't go anywhere else with me. But I do sit and read the newspaper on it and things like that.
Yeah, like my thing is when I wake up, the alarm goes off, I pick the phone up and I have a little skim through the news while I make my coffee.
My phone isn't my alarm. See, my phone's downstairs.
And
that when I didn't need to set my alarm, that worked. If I left it in the kitchen, and that worked completely. I didn't even think about it because it's far, far away. So I need to get a different alarm. I think it's as basic as that.
That's a really good one to do as well, because if you can, I mean, I've always used my phone as my alarm. Like, it's just downside of having worked in telecoms for a very long time. But you know, it's having, if you are using your phone as the alarm, it's having the discipline that once you've set your alarm, turn it over face down, leave it be. Like, the turning it over face down is the most important thing, because while you can put it on do not disturb, like while it's charging, it's going to light up and notifications are going to come through still, so it'll still distract you to a degree. So it's really important to try and kind of, if you can, get a separate alarm completely, or just turn it face down and don't touch it again.
Do you not get disturbed by other people in your houses? In your homes?
I always notice when my husband's not there. So he didn't go to bed till about 1 last night. And I was just really restless and kept waking up. I had sums going around my head stupidly from the quiz. But it meant that I couldn't sleep properly. I was sat there calculating how many matches are in a World Cup. And I was like, okay, so 63 matches. And how many goals per match? Because of one of the questions in the quiz. It's stupid. But I get disturbed if someone's not there. It's really weird.
Yeah, I think that's a routine thing, right? So like, I mean, if I'm asleep, I'm out for the count, but I can tell when Darren comes up to bed because of the dog. So if the dog's not there, that's when I won't sleep as well, because the dog is quite a fidget. But I think part of it is everyone's routine has massively changed now. So people are home a lot more, obviously, and they're not necessarily going out as much. So everyone has a different bedtime routine that's probably different to what they were. And it's just trying to find the ways to make it work. So like you were saying, like if it's a lack of someone being there, how do you still wind down before that happens and not be disturbed when they get in? So I think that's a really tough one. Are you finding like everyone's got different bedtimes, Georgina, and stuff like that?
Yeah, my son, who's just sitting opposite me at the moment, having his breakfast.
Yeah, mine are doing that.
Yep. You know, we'll think nothing of playing a thing on the computer until 2 o'clock in the morning, and I can see the light and I'm wound up because there's other things he should be doing.
That was a very diplomatic answer there, Georgina.
Georgina,
No, I'm blunt. He knows that. He's
Georgina,
doing stuff for his degree.
Georgina.
Yeah.
I've got a son who's doing exactly that. He goes to bed at 4 in the morning and he gets up at about 1. And I've literally just had to let that one go.
Yeah.
And he's got his friends. He's like in a different world to me. We meet sort of like about tea time for a couple of hours. So it's like living on your own, but I just see him for a couple of hours. But he's coping. If that's the way he's coping, that's the way they're coping, if that makes sense. But you know, I leave.
Teenagers are nocturnal anyway, aren't they?
He's
He does
older
his
than a
list.
teenager now.
Oh, is he? Oh, that's no good then. He needs to be up at 6:30 for that class.
Oh yeah, dead right. Dead right. Yeah, and I already want to take a sledgehammer to his computer. So you know, I'm that sort of calm.
Yeah, no, mine disturb me probably most, and one will go up at 10 and then the other one's a bit later, and then sometimes they come in for a chat even though I am asleep. But I don't know, I can just have a chat with them and then go back to sleep. It doesn't it eases me more than anything. But I am missing my friends, like a hug from my friends. That's the main thing that I'm missing, which would help me sleep better.
I think it's trying to find a balance for you guys, Georgina. Like, is there any way he can do his computer stuff, whether it's his actual work stuff or not, without disturbing you, like in a closed room somewhere, that kind of stuff, just so that the light isn't.
Or in the shed. PT's
Oh,
in
no, I'm removing the router, removing the Wi-Fi, pulling the broadband.
Oh, I like it.
That's what I was doing at 1:30 this morning. Yes.
Oh.
But I think that's a fair thing, right? If it's to keep balance in the house as well, like it's a pretty fair thing to say, internet's going to go down. Hopefully to get him in a good routine. But,
Or you might just totally rebel and go the other way.
I've tried the talking for about 3 weeks. No.
I would just see how it goes. I think part of it's going to be getting him into a new routine, right? That's going to be the hardest thing. Going from like 2, 3 in the morning to slightly different time frames is going to be tough.
Yeah. Well, I'm going back to work next week, so going to be getting up at, as I say, 6:15. So I think that should be here.
Yeah, I think when your routine is going back to those kind of hours, that's kind of going to be a fair thing. Otherwise, you're going to get next to no sleep, Georgina.
I know. So
I'm quite enjoying not having an alarm at the minute. So
yeah, I'm waking up before my alarm at the moment.
I've not got the alarm on, so I just wake up normally about 7:30 or something. I used to, when I was going out to work, be a 6:30 alarm wake up, and now it's just natural. And because it's a natural wake up, it's much nicer.
It definitely, I think it definitely makes a difference with kind of routines if you can keep in sync with kind of like daylight hours a lot better. I appreciate that doesn't work for everyone, Dave, Jamie. I get that doesn't work, but you know, making the most of the fact that we are having quite a good spring at the moment, and you know, the sun is up by about 6:30. It does make for getting up to be a lot easier and sinking into that routine. It does also mean, like, obviously I'm staying up a little bit later than I usually would because it's lighter later, but I'm not waking up feeling exhausted because I'm in a good little pattern right now. And I think it's quite important to try and sync to that as much as you can. One, you don't you may get to the point where you don't need to set an alarm. I think naturally on Sundays I don't get out of bed any later than 7:30 just because I'm wide awake. I'll be lying in bed, but I'll be like ping wide awake, and it's like, just get up, go downstairs, make a cup of coffee, read something, just move. So I think that's a really important thing to try and get into the habit of as well. Once it's dark, that's kind of like cue to go to bed. Like once it starts getting darker, head to bed.
I think I've got.
Farmer's lifestyle, isn't it? Nice.
I mean, the classes at 6:30 have been really good because I've got into the habit. I get up at 5:45, get myself ready, go downstairs, and intravenously consume coffee to start me off before the class. And then a couple of mornings where I've just thought, I'll just snooze the alarm, and I'm like 10-15 minutes behind on my schedule. It's just been hell. I've got to have 2 cups of coffee before the class, and that just sets me up well.
If you sound like me, I have 2 cups of coffee before I coach the class. No, it's I think now's a really good time to kind of, where we talked about routines before and how to set those routines. The daily routine, kind of the wake up routine, has a big sync up to your nighttime routine, right? So if you can get a good night's sleep, you are less likely to snooze the alarm. You're more likely to wake up and just go. I mean, PT, like, you're probably like one of those people that loves to snooze the alarm. I used to always be like that. I still do like a snooze on the alarm. But I think once you start getting a good sleep routine and a pattern, you'll find the alarm goes off and you will wake up. The body will be awake as well, not just the mind.
Do you think it's a good idea not to have a snooze then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Not even one?
No. Just get up.
Yeah, like literally as soon as the first alarm goes off, sit bolt upright and go.
Because I had about 5 snoozes this morning.
That's almost like, how long was each snooze, PT?
9 minutes.
So if you think about that, that's 5 snoozes of 9 minutes, right?
I know.
You could have just set your alarm for 50 minutes later and got straight up.
Exactly. Do you know what annoyed me the most? So when my first alarm went off at 8 o'clock, I was like, I actually feel okay.
That's the point. You should have got up to make coffee.
Yeah. Because then when it came to like getting that across to 9, 10 to 9, I was like dying.
Yeah.
I should have just got up.
Literally, like,
breakfast
even
the
if
night
you-
before, so there's something like to get excited about, because I like tea, so I'm just like, oh, a cup of tea, and that literally gets me up in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
I love coffee.
You're
but I'm
easily
eating it.
pleased.
Well, yeah. I mean, people would disagree with that, but
coffee, I'm with you on coffee. I love a cup of coffee in the morning. But yeah, I would literally, if anything, PT, just set your alarm for 8:30 and then just get up at 8:30, right? Rather than having all the snoozes.
Yeah.
Get that extra half hour in bed, then get up.
Yeah. I'm just trying to plan next week and back to work. So
That
really, I
five-
need to get up at 8.
That 5-minute thing was working for me very well yesterday.
Yeah.
My marking, I tackled for 5 minutes, but actually finished and went for the walk to my mum's, and just, I got through a whole lot. I created a list, and I never normally do that. Admittedly, it was on a device. And I was quite pleased to be able to cross things off because, yes, I'd spent 5 minutes and maybe a little bit longer.
Nice.
We got things done.
That's awesome. Does anyone else try the 5-minute trick? No, just Georgina.
I just need to do it with my sleep then.
Yeah, just snooze for 5 minutes. No, it's the same thing, right? It's so the main thing is for sleep routine is just working out what that routine is and sticking to it. Whether you start with, treat it as like, just do 5 minutes of stretching, Georgina, like 5 minutes of stretching before you get into bed. But the 5-minute action stuff, that stuff's really cool. Like if you are really struggling with motivation to get anything done, just 5 minutes. Like you said, like you'll get stuff done way quicker than you thought you would. So that's really, I'm really glad that's worked really well for you. It's a really cool thing to, like, I use it for everything. Like, it's just like, all right, just do 5 minutes worth and you'll be cracking on and it'll be good.
I missed the 5 minutes thing, but I do my housework and, oh no, I just do one song. Just put one song on and do my housework. Obviously, I get distracted dancing. But that gets me going, and then I've started. If I don't get
it's the same theory, right? Like if you literally, whether it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes a song. I mean, if you want longer, just put a Meatloaf song on. That'll last 10 minutes. But you know,
go on.
but it's a really great way just to get doing something, right? Like just 5 minutes, whether you set an alarm or not, or you just go, right, I'm going to do 5 minutes. You may only do 2 minutes, you may do 3, you may do 20, who knows?
Yeah, it normally goes at then it's like 40 minutes I've done the house and the dog.
But it's a really good way just to find, for the stuff that you know you need to do, but you just don't want to do it, you've got no motivation to do it, it's an awesome way just to get cracking with it.
It's also a way to distract yourself when you think, I'll just spend 5 minutes on you said a puzzle. I do puzzles on my iPad, and I can end up doing a puzzle and another puzzle and another puzzle. So my 5 minutes has gone into an hour, and I'm going late to bed, etc., etc. So, you know, cross my son gaming, but I can distract myself quite well.
Do the same. I play that peak brain stuff, and I just kind of get carried away with it. I've started to kind of set timers now, but it's true. It's one of the easiest ways to time manage, right? Like everyone had a little look at the beginning at how much time they spend on social media, on their phone, where they lose their hours. That's prime time to use 5 minutes to do something else, right?
How can I actually find out how long I'm on social media?
What phone? Have you got an iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
There's a setting. Hang on, PT. Let me find my mobile device. Oh, it's right here.
Isn't it?
Yeah, there's a setting in there. If you go into your settings,
Screen time. Literally just says screen time.
yeah,
Oh, shucks. Does it do that on iPads as well?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
Oh, dear.
Oh, so this screen time is for any time you actually look at your phone then, not just a certain social media?
Yeah, so it'll tell you how much, like, but you've got kind of, you can limit for your apps as well. So there's an apps limit, you can put that in. It's got communication limits, content, all of that kind of stuff. So it's a really good one just to see. But if you go into activity, PT, I don't know if you can see it. So there's a little button of activity, and it'll show you all of the apps and stuff.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So I spend most of my life on Instagram and on my camera.
What setting is that in?
So on an iPhone, if you just go under settings
Yeah.
and then go to screen time, it's in there.
Oh,
And then there's a little tab called see all activity, and it'll tell you like, so the average week for me, day. No, so my average week so far, I spent nearly 11 hours on social media, 4 hours on creativity stuff, and 3 hours on education on my phone. So it gives you an idea of just how many hours in a week you can lose towards social media.
Mind you, on the plus side, Jen, looking at mine, I've spent 9 hours, 5 minutes on health and fitness this week. So I'm quite pleased with that.
Well done.
Check you out.
Yeah.
But it's a really good tool just for checking out where you spend all your time, PT.
Okay, I'm going to have a look at that. Because
Amazing.
I think the results are going to be shocking.
But it's like I said, it's a really great way to then find where you can get some of that time back, right? Like, do you need to be on Facebook for 5 hours a week?
No.
I've got a bit better with it now, though. I'll put it in a different room to charge it, and I will leave it. However, it's within reach of my watch, and then it vibrates. And if it's something I need to go and sort out, I'll go. But if it's something I can wait,
Yeah, so one of the good things to do with, like, and Apple's really good at it, is to set like only certain contacts to notify you. So my watch will only vibrate when certain people message me. So not even just apps, just certain people in my contacts. So then I know that I need to go and check it, rather than kind of, it's gone off, vibrate, all right, go check the phone. It's literally, that was Mark, cool, my phone's just gone off, I need to go grab it. Does that make sense? I only have like 3 people I answer it for, and that's Mark. My mum. That's it.
I went through muting groups, like WhatsApp groups, like anything to do with school and mates and stuff. Muting them.
The way I see it is if it's important enough, people know how to pick up the phone, right?
Yeah.
I actually don't have any sound on my WhatsApp, so it doesn't make any, like, I figure I pick up my phone sufficiently enough in the day, like, to not be hours and hours off grid. Like, if people need me, they'll ring, and then it doesn't disturb me if I'm busy. It makes no noise, which is cool.
Right, guys, we're gonna have to call it. We've already gone up to 12:30. I've got another meeting. Lucky me. Is there anyone got any questions before we leg it?
No. Fine.
He looks exhausted.
I think it's just the bad lighting, Georgina.
Yeah, she's getting
Oh,
asleep.
she's tired.
9 hours sleep.
I'm getting 8 hours, PT.
8.
Getting my 8 hours. No, I'm always like this towards the end of the week, Georgina. Fridays is always like my killer day.
Yeah, but look at B.
Yeah.
He looks so tired.
I am so tired.
B, keep holding on until later. Get an early night.
Out for a run in a bit, so
Oh,
Wake yourself up.
yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, enjoy your weekend.
Thanks
See you
for
later.
that.
I'll see you
Yeah.
later. Cheers, guys.
Bye, everyone.